Well, we're going to take a closer look now at Cisco's results with the president of Cisco Systems Europe, Chris Dedicoat. He's responsible for 20 countries, representing the largest revenue-earning region for Cisco outside of the U.S. Welcome, Chris. Thanks for coming in. So shares are down about 8% in after-hours trading. Investors seem pretty disappointed, perhaps mostly in the outlook. Are you disappointed?
Not at all. I mean, I think that we set an expectation for Q4 of revenue growth between 25% and 28%, and we delivered 27% revenue growth, our highest revenue quarter ever. And we guided for next quarter 18 to 20%, which I think is extremely strong. Again, above our guidance, our long-term guidance of 12 to 17%. So we think in terms of the results we delivered, we think in terms of the expectation we set, it's very, very strong. Now, clearly, we are not immune to what's happening in the world. We see every day the different news stories around the globe. And what we're trying to reflect is that, our customers are somewhat nervous, and we have to reflect that.
And this is perhaps what investors are picking up on. I mean, not only are you not immune to it, you're talking about what your customers are saying. John Chambers, your CEO, says he sees unusual uncertainty in the economy. He also talked about a large number of mixed signals in the markets and from your customers. So can you just give us a bit more on that, just elaborate on what customers are saying?
I mean, I think what we saw in our last quarter, we saw a period in the middle of the quarter where our overall order growth, which was 23% for the quarter, we actually saw that off about 10 points during the middle 5 weeks of the quarter. But we saw that return at the end of the quarter. I think the most important thing is that we do get a little bit focused on short-term news, I think, at this moment in time. But I think, long-term, our growth rate of 12 to 17%, we think is an exceptionally good, strong growth rate for a company. But we have to reflect what our customers are saying to us. And there are customers around the world, who are somewhat concerned about the future. They're therefore, more cautious in their spending.
Reluctant to spend.
And as a consequence, we have to reflect that. But overall, in terms of our quarter, very strong results.
Well, they're cautious about the economy. They don't feel confident enough to spend money. How do you guys feel about the economy? Do you think that the global economy might see a double dip?
Well, we don't see that it will see a double dip. We are still, confident in our own company, in our own execution. We will continue to hire. We continue to invest heavily in research and development. We have a very strong cash pool of $40 billion, and we'll use that cash pool wisely to try and drive growth for the organization. So, I think what we're seeing is a very good opportunity in the markets that we serve, and we continue to hire as a company.
What's your reaction to the sell-off that we've seen overnight on global stock markets? I mean, Cisco's part of that. Your sales forecast has disappointed people. Has it surprised you?
I don't think it necessarily surprised us. I think that we saw, leading up to our announcement yesterday, the stock markets around the globe were nervous. We're surprised because our own performance was extremely strong. And again, I think that, we are looking at things maybe a little too short-term. And I think we'll look back in history and say, maybe we just were too short-term.
Now, one of the things you guys did in the downturn was take the opportunity to buy up a load of other companies. Now, you haven't made an acquisition in the last quarter. Are you planning on making one anytime soon? You've got $33 billion of your money, of your $40 billion cash pile outside of the U.S. as well. So where are you looking to buy? We continue to look constantly at the marketplace for good opportunities, as you say. We very recently bought two companies, Starrent and also Tandberg, which are performing extremely well. So we will continue to look at acquisition as one component of our growth strategy. And, clearly there is some good value in the marketplace at this moment in time. All right, Chris Dedicoat, the president of Cisco Systems Europe, thanks very much for joining us.